What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to give you a good breakdown on what is plaguing Lucid, what is happening behind the scenes to cause it to go down. In addition to that, I just want to give you my take on that, on how low it could possibly go. But before I get into any of that, you guys know the deal by now. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe, as that was greatly appreciated. With that, let's get right to it. So hopefully everyone is having an amazing Friday. Live ticker is going at the very bottom of the screen, currently down 5.7%, 7.4 million for volume, 18 is the average, and 812,000 shares being purchased by institutions on the secondary market. So one very good takeaway from just seeing this right now, a lot lower volume, and technically over and above that, a lot less institutional volume. So when it comes to it though, I've really noticed that basically since last Wednesday, institutions have been really taking a step back on their purchasing, both on the secondary market and also dark pool. So this is all the transactions on the dark pool as of right now, and unfortunately they fit on one screen. So it's definitely a step back from what we're used to. So let me know your thoughts on that. Some people don't necessarily even care about this, so it is what it is. Outside of this, we're still in this crazy market. When there is possible good news, it's still seen as negative. So looking here, we did get non-farm payrolls. It came in higher than the forecast, which was 250,000, and the actual was 263,000. So we get good news and it's seen as bad because now the Feds have a little bit more ammunition to raise rates. And the next time the Feds could possibly raise the rates, it's going to be on November the 2nd. And that's something that a lot of people are very fearful, and technically about the geopolitical issues with Russia. So there's a lot of things plaguing the market, and it just sucks, plain and simple. But over and above that, more specific to EVs, there is a little bit more fear because it does look like GM and Ford are really ramping up on their production. And when it comes down to production, it's one of those sticky scenarios that Lucid is stuck between a rock and a hard place. We have amazing technology, but unfortunately a lot of other EVs are spending a lot of big money ramping up their technology. So we have an advantage, but I don't think that advantage is going to last forever. So this is why we need to get our product out there so we get a good name for ourselves, because if GM and Ford continue at the rate they're going to be, they're definitely investing a lot of money on technology, and they have the capability to produce a ton of vehicles. So they're going to be the ones more so in the foreseeable future to possibly worry about over and above Tesla. So let me know your thoughts on that, but that's basically what's causing a little bit more of a plague on fear on the EV market and technically the broader market. So let me know your thoughts on all of that. But technically, a lot of people want to know, where are we going in the short term? So I'm just going to look at some of the technicals. So it does look like we are in a little bit more of a sell-off. As I explained on my last video, we bounced off of this resistance as we do, and unfortunately we haven't actually gone into the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band since looks like mid-September. So definitely shows that it's very, very strong resistance. And unfortunately, even further, more so on the technicals, we've always failed to get over that 50-day moving average unless we have some very good piece of news, but that's only briefly. And so on the actual chart as of today, it does look like stochastic is now inverted, so red line above the black showing a bearish sentiment. Momentum, number of retail investors are just getting out, and we've definitely held a very good amount of retail investors previously, so the fact that they're getting out today is a little bit more concerning. RSI is at 39 as well, and on the actual chart, like I said, we're just breaking down on the technicals, plain and simple. Whether it be the next CPI data that does save us, which is coming out on the 13th, if it does show signs to be curbed, then yes, the broader market will definitely go on a nice rally based on that information. But if it is negative, this is where a lot of people are saying, how low could Lucid go? And a lot of people out there will give you a lot of price predictions and things like that, but based on technicals, and in order to do technicals, you have to look at previous data. So the only low that we do know as of right now is $13.25. So in reality, that was, I believe, in May when we did hit that low of around that 13.25. So we know that there is very strong support at that stage. Outside of that though, if we break below that 13.25, which it could come possibly next week, a lot of people will assume, but technically there is no known, it's just a free fall at that stage. And it does and is very scary for a lot of investors, especially fundamentally, Lucid is a very good business. Just it's a little bit more of a bear market. Well, not little, but you guys get what I'm saying. It just sucks. it's a right company, just wrong timing, essentially. That's a very good way of putting all of that. But personally, if we do break below that $13.25 range, then we're just going to be following a little bit more psychological levels. So those are typically whole numbers. So around $11, $11.50, $12. You guys get what I'm saying. Outside of that, though, we do not know where the next support is. If we, like I said, break below that, then we'll know a little bit more information going forward. But outside of that, it's just anyone's guess. So in reality, I personally see around the $12 range being the next thing to watch for and the next support level. Keep in mind, though, if we do have failed CPI data, it could go down very fast and very aggressively. So I think right now, shorts are definitely taking advantage of a lot of this fear and doubling down. So that's one thing that I've really noticed with Lucid, is that shorts are getting very, very bold. So again, it's one of those things, shorts suck in the grand scheme of things. They're just a little bit more vultures. That's how I see them. They see a lot of fear and they pounce. Keep in mind, when shorts are technically increasing their position, they're adding selling pressure, which again just adds a little bit more of a domino effect to the broader fear. So it just sucks in the grand scheme of things. What you need to do, find a good company, average down if you can. Obviously, that's only if you can. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. These videos are for entertainment purposes only, but in the grand scheme of things, I personally feel years from now, whether it be 2025 or whatever it is, we're going to be significantly higher based on this. So again, it's one of those things that, like I already mentioned, Lucid really needs to get their production down pat. Hopefully their Q3 and Q4 earnings will be a good representation of that and where Lucid is going. And like I said, we do have a very good tech advantage over a lot of other EVs right now, but that will not last forever. So we definitely need to pounce while the iron is hot. I don't know if that's a saying or not, but still, hopefully everyone's having an amazing Friday and planning for a good weekend. But as usual, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe, as always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships. Link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.